another episode of the Buffalo Happy Hour. Mike, what's going on, dude?
Chilling, man. Chilling in the studio. It's nice. It's refreshing. It's a short week, but a long week, if that makes any sense. And, yeah. You know what I realized? A lot of major podcast studios in general don't necessarily have carpet, but if they do, someone's always wearing shoes. We don't. We're also not in that type of setup, but
we're in my basement, so that'd be weird because you'd be like bringing your shoes through the house or wearing them through the house, which I guess I don't really care if you did or not. I mean,
well, yeah, because you have hardwoods, but still.
Correct.
It's not. We're just comfy.
Yeah, for sure.
Our whole set's comfy.
It is very comfy, and we don't use it nearly as much as we probably should.
Yeah, but it's so worth it.
It was refreshing to record the weekly episode low last week, just to like talk.
I know. There's a lot going on.
Sure is.
So, short week but long week, holiday week. We got the 4th of July. Derek, thoughts on the country?
He says thoughts on the country. I mean, we got some things going on, dude. Not like Buffalo Happy Hour things, but like world things. I think that this is a very monumental turning point in
society.
I think just the perception of the big man in office. Because I really do feel if everything goes well, like what it should, with this new big beautiful bill or whatever, if everything goes well, I think people will genuinely start turning their perception of him to be good. I mean, he is on track to pass Obama's approval rating at this time, which wasn't even touched during his first term, and Biden didn't even come close to touching it.
What is his approval rating right now?
I think like 48% or something like that. Like, he's pretty high up. Because normally, like, I think Biden was like 38. I have no idea about these numbers. I'm just like visualizing the chart that Rasmussen Polling puts out, who's a pretty good and reliable pollster. Like, he was pretty accurate on all 3 elections that I followed him on. And he put out, like, I think he's right next to Obama. I don't know if he'll pass right now, if he'll pass him by the 4th of July, which he thought he was going to. But he's pretty close. And generally, I don't know if you notice the same thing, but a lot of people that I follow on Instagram that are friends of mine that I haven't removed because I'm not removing people because of their political beliefs unless they're super obnoxious and I have no need to be friends with them, like they're not a cousin or something like that. I do feel like a lot of those people that once were very loud are not loud anymore. And that's kind of like their defeat is they're not admitting that things are going in the right direction. You don't have to like the dude, but yeah, you have to admit that things are going generally in the right direction they have been the last 4 years. I
mean, I think they check their 401s.
Yeah.
You know, and listen, a lot of people went from, I don't know, for sake of conversation, let's just pick a number, right? I think a lot of people went from 30,000 in their 401s to, 20 during Biden's term, and then now it shot back up to 30, right? Or like whatever, like they made it back, but it's just, there's that. But I think a lot of it too was the way Iran shook out, and I think the struggle, which we kind of talked about right before we went and went live, is a lot of people really don't understand politics the way that they should, and they see major federal headlines and they think it directly impacts the states, but they don't fully realize that it's literally just a separation of federal and state government, and it's not necessarily eliminated forever. It's just now on the state to either continue it, but it's not, or it's no longer the federal government's job to subsidize or pay for or be involved with certain things. Across the board, across multiple different facets, whether it's insurance or healthcare or operations or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think that's, once people become more educated, they become more quiet because they're realizing, oh, we just received $200 billion in tariff income where that wasn't a thing before, and we're slowly, very, very slowly starting to climb out of debt. And if you play chess and look at the future forecast of the financials of the country, which is what the president's essentially doing, is he's looking at it from a business standpoint, and you're realizing, oh, we're getting away from China. We're getting, like Nike's about to leave China and invest $1 billion in the U.S. and this major tech company is going to come to this state, and we have these car manufacturers coming back, and we have all of these different things coming back because they're realizing it doesn't make sense financially to stay where we were because it's no longer the best option from a business standpoint, and money talks. You're not going to have Nike lose $2 billion every single year. Like, that's not a thing.
Yeah.
So they're going to go where the money is.
And it doesn't make sense when you boil it down that the U.S. is the largest market, but they're being made everywhere else. Like, that doesn't make sense. And if you want to sell in the U.S., you have to be made in you have to at least have a manufacturing hub in the U.S. And over this whole like big beautiful bill, all the discussions around it, I've been really keen on, because I think you and I both can agree that we aren't like very, very, very Republican, like diehard Trump. We're just like, he's a Republican. I generally agree with a lot of Republican sentiments, but I'm not like a Trumper. Whenever anybody asks me if I like love him or like look up to him or whatever, I'm like, well, I mean, I'm just a Republican. Like, I'm not a Trumpster. I just want Republican values, and I agree with a lot of that. The thing that bothers me a lot with what's been happening with like Thomas Massey and Elon Musk around their criticisms of the big beautiful bill is that they're concerned about the things that are still in there. But going back to what we just talked about understanding politics, one, the alternative is not this omnibus thing, and you're putting one bill up at a time, which would take years to get everything that Trump wants done, because he's not going to get all the Democrats and all the Republicans to agree that we need $50 million more on the border. He's just not. But putting that paired with this thing that helps a Democratic state, and this thing that helps a Republican state, and this thing that helps a Democratic state, and this thing that helps a Republican state, putting all that together, yes, you might not want $50 billion being spent towards the border, but you might be okay with removing Medicare for illegal aliens or whatever it may be. Like, the whole thing that Elon is angry about is that he feels like the debt ceiling is increasing, which it is to an extent. But also what you have to understand is Trump can't just come in and cut everything, or else nobody will vote for it, because that means no states are getting funding for anything, which means those people that are in elected positions in the state level are not getting reelected. So everybody has to watch out for their own interests. So that's something that Trump just can't do. And I feel like people don't understand that and expect, like Elon, to say, we want all this cut, we want this program cut, we want all this program, we want the deficit to decrease, and expect it to still get passed, because in that situation, it wouldn't get passed.
Yeah. It's so intense most times, but when you just take a breath and, I don't know, walk around your office and then, or workspace, like whatever it is, and just kind of give it 5 seconds of thought and then revisit it, it all shakes out. Like, it's my real concern is almost nothing regarding funding and like insurance. It's the border after Trump. And I don't know what that looks like, because everybody who wants entry from a criminal standpoint, like cartels, drug kingpins, like that audience, they're just waiting. Yeah. They're waiting it out. And I feel like it's a negative on the system that we have in place, because it's not like Russia, where you have Putin in charge for 30 years. It's a president's in for no more than 8. And then if you don't agree, you just wait. And then after 8 years, you can just continue operations as normal if a new administration takes place. And that's not safe for the American people. So I really hope from a bipartisan level, both parties come together and realize this is still an ongoing problem, regardless of how we want to attack it politically. It's still something that we have to just solve for and handle, because we can't let this continue. Yeah. And I really hope, for the American citizens' sake, that that's what happens. I hope that it's a bipartisan agreement, very similar to, I don't know, the mission to go kill bin Laden was a bipartisan support, no questions asked. It was an obvious conclusion to a masterful presentation, right? Like, Nobody's arguing that Bin Laden should be alive. So go kill him. Sounds good. I don't care which way I vote. You know what I mean? Like, none of that matters. Like, this is reality. So, and I still, like we talked about last week, I still feel like it's kind of that pendulum shift is happening where people are just getting back into center. So to your original point about telling somebody, are you a Republican or a Democrat? Because since 2016, you really couldn't anymore. Yeah. But I always just tell people I'm conservative. I'm a registered Republican because I want to vote in the primaries, but I'm a conservative. Like, I'm socially liberal, but economically not.
That's everybody.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I don't care if you want to lick a tree. You know what I mean? Like, go lick trees, bro. But
also,
like,
don't charge me to lick a tree.
Yeah, right. Don't charge me or don't come at me for not wanting to lick a tree, right? And then don't overspend on nonsense. Like, just make it make sense. There's realistically, 350 million people is a good number, and it's okay to have boundaries and tell people these are our left and right limits. When I'm in Poland, I can't do the stuff that I'm doing here. Right. I mean, America is the only country that you can openly hate, but then also those same people that openly hate never leave because it's still the greatest country. Like, there are so many war-torn nations with citizens and residents that just want to come here for just some sense of, like, security, like, from the sky. Yeah. You know what I mean? Imagine driving down the 90 and a JDEM hits right in the grass right outside the 90 and you're just driving. You're just trying to get home from work to see your kids. I mean, that's insane to us, and to other nations, that's normal. Yeah. I mean, we were, off air, we were going back and forth throughout the weeks about the satellite images of Gaza. It's just rubble. There's nothing left. If you haven't seen it, it's fascinating. I mean, there is nothing left.
It's just horrific.
Yeah. And it's fascinating from the standpoint of, this is how bad it really is, because they didn't show that. They don't talk about that in our media. They don't show those actual photos, but you can find them on Instagram. Yeah. Like, they're there. You just got to actively search for it. Just like we're still actively searching for the plane that hit the Pentagon. But the whole thing, man, like, it's not exhausting yet. I'm just really curious to see what the next 3.5 years bring, because the first bit of the first year was a wild ride.
I feel like it's different though, because I mean, this stuff
he's learned so much, by the way, not to cut
100%.
you off. His second term is way different from his first, because now he knows. Yeah. He knows the system. He gets it.
And he's emotionally intelligent. Like, one of the biggest things about being a leader is you have to be emotionally intelligent. I'm sure that you feel the same way at work. Reacting to something in an emotional way only makes things worse. And the only time that I've seen him react in that emotional way so far was when Israel went back to go to bomb Iran, and he goes, "I don't know what the fuck they're doing." Like, that was the first time, or they don't know what the fuck they're doing. That's what he said. That was the first time that I saw him emotionally react. Whereas before, any question that the press asked in his first term, he was emotionally reacting to it. So you can see him maturing in real time during the second term. It is very fascinating to see. I really do enjoy that from him.
I think the back end is even more interesting, where his cabinet is close. Yeah. They're not just professional coworkers, they're actual friends, and they're all working together towards a collective goal. Probably not that common, if I had to venture a guess. Yeah. I think a lot of the cabinet could potentially be politically charged, especially in different administrations. I'm sure Carter's cabinet wasn't super close, So I feel like that's a huge step forward, because do you remember when his first term, he was going through the list of who's doing what, and everybody was like, that's a huge win. Like, Mattis is a huge win. And then you go to the next and you're like, no idea. Yeah. Like, no idea. That's probably going to work. She's a smoke show. No idea what's going on, right? Like, that's
a lot of smoke in this administration.
Outside looking in, that's what it is, right? And then this administration, you're looking like, okay, but everybody is young, hungry, smarter than you realize, and wittier than you ever wanted. And they are driven to get this done at a rate that's never been done before. And I think that that's his experience going into a second term, where he goes, I need hammers to drive these nails to build this house.
Who's your biggest surprise of this administration so far?
Pete Hegseth.
Yeah? Why is that?
It's not that I was skeptical. I was hesitant when he was going through his confirmation hearings. You can tell the dude is for the boys.
Mm-hmm.
Like, through and through, he gets it. I think he's the right choice for the military specifically, which I can speak on more than most, but not as much as others. But what I will say is, when politics and society got involved in the military, a lot went wrong fast.
Mm-hmm. And
setting that back to what it should be takes somebody that looks like they, did their hair inside of a wind tunnel and literally just doesn't care anymore and just wants to do the mission. And that's him through and through. And I think that was the underlying conversation that they had during the interview process of, like, I'm looking at you for this role. Where are you at? And I honestly feel like Pete was super emotionally charged during that interview, and Trump looked at it and said, okay, I have the fire. I have to basically dictate that Bunsen burner because this is it. Like, this dude is for it, and he gets it. He understands it. He's a prior service dude. He lived it.
People are always talking about his Fox News being a representative on Fox and being like, he's not going to do very well. But I agree. He showed surprised a lot of people.
Yeah, he showed up. And I think a lot of it was he was given the reins where, not that he wasn't ready, but I don't think he understood the weight of the reins that he was holding for the first couple months. But now that he's getting his feet under him, he's kind of turning it around. Yeah. And I obviously still have a lot of friends, a lot of family still in the service and across all branches, and except the Coast Guard, because, be honest, but they playful dig, but they're all like, dude, it's, the issue that we're running into now is rank chasers. So we have a lot of dudes that, and girls, just to cross the board. I don't know any personally. The females that I know earned their rank, but there's a lot of people that it's very similar to civilian life. I'm doing this, I'm leaving. I'm doing this, I'm leaving, because they're chasing a pay increase. In the military, there's people that chase rank, so they change their job all the time because that's the next opening to get that next rank. So they might be in E7, but they've only been in for 6 years, and you're like, that shouldn't compute, dude. Like, if you fast tracked, you got your 6 and 6. Like, you shouldn't be a 7 and 6. Like, something's wrong. So, and I think Pete is eliminating a lot of nonsense. I think he's doing a good job. Yeah. That's my big surprise. Press secretary, I knew she would crush it.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
My big surprise is Marco Rubio. I heard a lot of skepticism about him coming into it because, he ran against Trump. There was a lot of speculation on him not performing the way that he has. And the dude, from everything that I've heard, is an absolute stud. Who was that? I think I was watching the RFK interview with Tucker. And RFK was like, this dude is the funniest guy in the entire world. Was it RFK?
Wasn't it? Yeah.
Like, that makes me so happy that he's not, because I always thought that he was just going to be this stuck-up, kind of like entitled person that was vying for the next presidential position, and he was always going to be tight-knit. But I think him and Vance and RFK have like this really tight relationship. And to me, he's the biggest surprise because I had no idea what to expect from him going into it.
The Republican Party's been a mess for a long time.
Yeah.
Long time. And I think a lot of that failure has led to the Democrats running the show for as long as they have. And I'm honestly really realizing and starting to believe in some sense of hope that this administration is the turnaround for the Republican Party to just kind of figure out where the party actually sits now, because now they're starting to see that the left has nothing. Gavin Newsom is going to get absolutely destroyed on the federal level,
Pete Buttigieg.
mainly because of COVID.
That's the leading guy now is Buttigieg.
Yeah, and Buttigieg already got destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no, like, dude, you're speaking Spanish randomly, and that's not even your real name. Like, we already know you're dirt. Like, that's not it. The thing with the Dems is that they actually show up and vote.
Yeah.
So if the right does that, obviously things change. But a lot of people are starting to do that in New York, and a lot of people our age are realizing state and local government is way more impactful than federal. So I need to start focusing on that, and that has been a huge recourse. I've had really good conversations with people from high school where they reach out to me, I'll share something politically, they come back, and then my response to their rebuke is cordial, professional, articulate, and backed, right? Not just because we were raised with DBQs, but because, like, I understand your emotional response.
DBQ sucked, dude.
But we murdered them, you know? And I understand your response. I'm not negating it. You're not wrong for feeling or thinking that way. Here's why I feel this way about this certain thing, and that's why I shared it. Let me tell you the backstory. And when I do that, they come back and they're like, no, that's fair.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense for one. And then for two, they'll come right out and say 99% of the time, I didn't even know that about the local level. So you're right. Maybe I should focus on the state. Maybe I should focus on local and really start to care about that, because that's directly impacting my paycheck. And when you start making a livable wage at a consistent basis, and then you're trying to add personal growth onto it, mortgage, kids, daycare, diapers, then you start to really, really care. And it's not like, hey, can you take off of work because we want to, like, go pick up pine cones? It's, no, I can't. I have to go to work. And then at the same time, I don't want to lose, $900 a week to nothing.
Yeah.
Because I still hit the same pothole. I'm still spending so much in healthcare that I never use because I understand how to read a nutrition label. Like, all of these different things come into it, and I'm just trying to buy wipes. Like, I just want to go into a store, buy diapers and baby wipes, and not think and not care, because next week I know my mortgage hits, even though it already hit, it just didn't hit my account because of the delay with the bank. So, like, how do I navigate this? And then, by the way, interest rates are 7%.
Still.
Yeah, and it's like, guys, the negative policies and the negative individuals that were in office for so long led to this, and
both sides too.
Yes,
like, let's be clear, both sides.
But for New York specifically, one side,
yeah.
right? So, like, we'll just call a spade a spade. The Cuomos weren't great.
Yeah,
like, they really weren't. So now that we're waking up and we're realizing that and seeing that, it's making people realize, I can't vote for the mayor of New York City, but I can vote for the governor, and I should probably pay attention, because last I checked, Hochul hasn't done a whole hell of a lot. Like, I'm glad she's a woman. That's cool. Okay, great.
And she's from Hamburg, Sweden.
Right, and she ran as a Republican to get elected in Hamburg. Like, don't forget her story. Actually do research. She ran as a Republican just to get elected. Then she switched immediately getting into office. Like, she's been fake from day one.
And she wasn't even really elected for this position. She was just Cuomo's replacement.
Yes. And it's not, and I understand everybody's rebuke of be careful what you wish for, because if Cuomo's not here, who's going to replace? And I get that, and that same sentiment can be for the Buffalo Bills head coach. And I'm still supporting McDermott, because there's no one that's come close except for Marv Levy. Not to change topics, but, like,
he's on the hot seat this year, though. A report just came out. He's one of the top 5 coaches that's on the hot seat.
I don't think he is. I think McDaniels with the Dolphins is actually in the hot seat. I don't think McDermott is.
Because Miami's a train wreck.
No, he is. But, like, that's an actual hot seat situation. I think that's just a headline for clicks, but to an extent. But yeah, a lot of people are waking up in New York, and a lot of counties are starting to turn red quick. And the red wave is coming, but a lot of people woke up. Every conspiracy since 2020 has merit to it, and it's no longer a conspiracy. They're proving it. Like, CBS and Paramount just had to pay Trump $30 million for editing clips to make the opponent look better during interviews. That's a real thing.
Yeah.
That's out there. Hep B vaccine is now linked to autism. That's real. That's out there. Like,
and a CDC cover up for that.
Yes.
Just so everybody knows.
All of this stuff is coming out, and it's, oh, you're insane for thinking that. They're medical experts. It's like, dude, the scientific method is to ask questions. If you're not asking questions and you're taking things at face value, you're wrong. That's on you. That's not on me. Don't villainize me because I'm just asking logical questions. Because I remember having eczema on my shoulder for, a couple months to years when I was a kid. I wanted it to go away. I thought it was ugly, right? Like, I thought something was wrong with me. I didn't know what that was. And then that's now. Like, and that's then. If you look at the vaccine schedule now, it's even more intense.
Dude, it's 86 vaccines for a kid up until high school or something like that. That's nuts.
For what?
Hep B when they're not even doing sexual activities when they're born.
Yeah, like there's so much stuff that I'm not. Here's the thing. I'm pro-vaccine. I don't want kids to have polio. I don't want, weird like smallpox to come back. I'm not.
But
I'm
even
not
that though, dude. The whole thing with polio. Do you know the whole thing with polio?
To an extent.
Like the whole polio vaccine was fake efficacy because that coincided with the whole sewage cleaning. So, like, polio reduced because of the whole sewage system rather than the actual vaccine. So the vaccine is theoretically irrelevant.
Right. Yeah, I know
that. But yes,
that,
I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, just broad stroke.
Still
I'm just
doing
picking
it.
Things.
Still doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, there are certain things that we should give vaccines for, but the flu shot? No. Like, for what? I'm
People
good.
that still get COVID boosters are nuts.
I agree. The flu shot was mandated when I was in the Army, and I got out in December, and that's when they were doing the flu shot for my unit, and they asked me, do you want this? Because we know you're getting out. And I said, no. Like, I feel horrendous every single time I get the flu shot. I'm good. I don't want to get sick. I'm leaving in a month. Don't give it to me. I'll sign whatever document you want. I don't care. Sign nothing. Didn't give it to me. I walked away. Everything's fine, right? Like, that was 2019. We're recording this in 2025. Like, come at me. Whatever. Like, it's just not...
Yep.
It wasn't worth it. My household doesn't get it. Like, stay healthy.
Right.
Like, there's so many things that you can focus on other than living by big pharma to just live a normal life. The more rabbit holes you go down with big pharma, the more you realize, and quickly, how money driven it is and how political it is and how fake it is.
Yeah. There's
an element of medicine that's needed. Like, it's an amazing industry. I love nurses. I love doctors. My sister's a nurse. Like, everything is fine. I'm not saying anti any of that. What I'm saying is just get educated, because there's so much that isn't necessary.
Yeah.
Like,
you know what my big conspiracy thing that I'm kind of going on right now around medicine is, that I'm juggling which one to believe, is sunscreen. Because there is a link between the sunscreen industry actually causing skin cancer and Johnson & Johnson, who created like one of the first sunscreens or owns a lot of sunscreen, has the skin cancer or cure or whatever it is. So there's a whole link between like sunscreen causing cancer right now, when in reality sunscreen blocks more vitamin D getting into your body, which is what you need to be healthy. So like, don't burn, but like also I don't know if the sun is causing you to get cancer as much as putting chemicals on your body to stop the sun getting cancer. There was that whole thing about like the coral reef or whatever it was completely going away, and everybody thought it was environmental factors, that it was destroying the Great Barrier Reef or whatever. And then they closed down the beach because they said COVID's happening, let's not do this. And the reef started regenerating, because what was actually killing the reef was the chemicals from people's sunscreens that was leaking into the water because people had sunscreens on their body. So that was the chemicals that was actually killing the reef instead of global warming. So it's all this stuff right now around sunscreen that is completely boggling my mind right now, and I don't know what to think of it. So I just got to keep doing more research on it.
Well, critically think about it. Humans have been around for how many years?
A while.
Right. So what did humans do when we lived outside?
Nothing.
We found shade.
Correct.
And if you couldn't find shade, like, did you boil to death? No, because we survived, right? So, like, we evolved to what we are now. And
do you know where skin cancer is the most relevant to?
probably not in the outback of Australia where it's 115 degrees in December, because I was there for that and that sucked.
No, it's
and not in Africa.
It's the U.S.
Perfect.
and all the Nordic countries.
Oh yeah, it makes complete sense.
Because white people want to burn.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm going to lather up on this extremely chemical sunscreen.
Well, so which brings me to my next point. Your body's your body and your body adapts, except I'll ask you, which organ processes all of that?
What?
If you consume something or apply something to your body that's foreign, what organ processes that?
Kidney?
Mainly the liver and your kidneys,
yeah.
right? So if you're applying a foreign substance to your skin, that obviously gets absorbed into your skin, into your blood, and then gets processed by all your organs. Yeah. So there has to be something to that. You can't negate that. Nothing. If I go to Rite Aid, if I go to Walgreens and I buy sunscreen and I slap that on my leg, what's inside of that sunscreen? It's not 100% organic, non-GMO, vegan. It's not.
What's even organic that stops the sun?
Nothing. Shade.
Correct.
So that's my point. Like, if I'm putting something foreign on my body, of course there's going to be some type of result, right? Like, every action, there's a reaction. Mm-hmm. So that's what it is. Like, there has to be something to that if you critically think about it. Of course something's wrong with sunscreen.
It's crazy. Let us know in the comments below, what is your favorite conspiracy theory that you follow right now? And did that conspiracy theory come true if you had a previous one that you really enjoyed following? Because honestly, it has been really weird. What conspiracy theory hasn't come true at this point?
Bigfoot.
That's fair. Bigfoot has... What's the actual name for that? Because there was a chick on Rogan podcast around bringing back the dire wolf, and Rogan was asking about bringing back Bigfoot.
Beth or Barbara, whatever her name was.
Like that. Yeah. But that's pretty cool. So what conspiracy theory are you following right now, and has it come true or not? And if it has come true, what's the new conspiracy that you're following? Because there's so many of them right now. Some of them have not been proven, but a lot of them have been proven to be true. So let us know in the comments down below. We really appreciate you joining us to today's weekly episode, and please tune in next week when we go into another topic, which, Michael, you want to bring us out and kind of lure us into the next topic?
Wait for part 2, baby.
Wait for part 2. Appreciate you all. Please remember to always drink responsibly, be a good person, and Michael,
don't litter.
We're out.